Today, we're going to get lost in translation. This is a book that my brother got for me a couple of years ago on Christmas. And every now and again I crack it open and look through it. And I think it's sort of fun. So I figured we would go through it together. It is words that exist in other languages that describe something that doesn't have a word in English. So, for example, in Indonesian, there is a word jayus, which is a noun. This refers to a joke so terrible and unfunny that you cannot help but laugh. It's Indonesian. The joke may have been funny for the wrong reasons, but it was funny nonetheless. A complete lack of comic timing, perhaps hilarious for that reason. Forgotten the punchline, absurdly entertaining. Sort of hard to see, but Jaeus. There you go. I am sort of the king of that, or at least was. I feel like most of my jokes now, if they're not funny, they land close enough that they wouldn't qualify as Jaeus. Tiam. The twinkle in your eye when you first meet someone. Maybe they are just anybody, or maybe they are clearly somebody special. But there is something resembling a small sliver of sunlight in your eyes, and you are happy to have met them. Tiam. It's a noun in Farsi. I probably should be going like one at a time so that we could make multiple videos, but I'm literally just skipping forwards and backwards. And when we get letters or words that we've already done before, I guess we'll just skip them. And if we end up doing this in another video, you'll probably hear things again. Good thing you won't remember. Not to be confused with Tiam from Farsi. Here's Tima, which is Icelandic. Not being ready to spend time or money on a specific thing, despite being able to afford it. It can be difficult to part with things of value, such as time and money, as they aren't infinite and they can slip through our fingers with surprising ease. We can't get them back once we've given them away, and so wanting to keep them for as long as possible is understandable. Tima, Icelandic, being unwilling to give up time or money for something that you could otherwise afford. That's a good one. Tima. Of course, most of the time I struggle with the opposite, wanting to spend money on things that I can't afford. What's the word for that? I think it's called being a hopeless consumer. Gurfa. Gurfa, by the way, if you speak any of these languages that we go through and you are frustrated with me for absolutely butchering the pronunciation of these words, sorry. You can totally correct me and I will issue an apology. I'm just a middle-aged white guy. Gurfa. God, I just can't. The thing is, that doesn't sound like it's Arabic. And Arabic is a beautiful language. So, like, Gurfa. Probably closer. The amount of water that can be held in one hand. Sure, this sounds like a vague measurement, but when you're building a sandcastle on the beach and you decided to create a defensive moat around the king's quarters, this word suddenly makes a lot of sense. In the Arabic noun, Gurfa. I'm just making it up, guys. Oh my god. Oh, this is going to be French, which means some of you definitely know this word. And it's not a hard L in French, right? Fulemore. I don't think it's a hard T either. What do you think, guys? Fulemore. Fulemore. Having the color of a faded dying leaf. Okay. Autumn leaves are one of those things that make the world seem worth the trouble. If you live somewhere with changing seasons, surely the evening light and those beautiful colors slowly fading underneath the trees will have you looking at life through Fulemort-tinted glasses. French. I wonder if my wife knows that word. Speaks fair amount of French. Goya, from the language Urdu. So, doubt it has any resemblance. I doubt the bean was named after the word. You know what I mean? Separate is my guess. Goya, a transporting suspension of disbelief, an as if that feels like reality, such as in good storytelling. So maybe we would call that, suspension of disbelief, a transporting suspension of disbelief. Goya. Goya is the realm of make-believe, of amazing stories that make you forget what you're doing and where you are. Stories that give you wings and send you soaring across mountain ranges that you never knew existed, or voyaging across oceans even though you don't know how to sail. Swedish. Resfaber. I don't know. Resfeber. It's definitely a Resfeber. The restless beat of a traveler's heart before the journey begins. A mixture of anxiety and anticipation. I mean, I appreciate that they're doing like 1,000 different fonts, but can we look at the font on this page and understand that it is not easy to just casually read? You've been counting down the days, and now you're counting down the hours. Your heart knows that it's going on a journey, and you cannot sit still as a result. So pick up your backpack and put on your boots and go boldly into the adventure and the unexpected. Sorry, not sure what happened there. Got James. Fika, another Swedish word. We have 2 Swedish words, I think, so far. Gathering together to talk and take a break from everyday routines, usually drinking coffee and eating pastries, either at a cafe or at home, often for hours on end. Fika. So fika is sort of like a Swedish siesta, except rather than just like a mid-afternoon break to hang out, take a nap, and eat lunch, it's specifically drinking coffee and eating pastries. Yeah, sounds great. Fika, Swedish. Nailed it. Good job, guys. Murma. The act of searching for something in the water with only your feet. You guys search for things in the water with only your feet? Because if it's a pool and you can see it and you're like trying to pick it up with your toes or something because you don't want to dive under the water. But like my first thought was an ocean. And I'm thinking like, if I drop something in the ocean, I mean, it's kind of gone. I mean, I guess maybe you're feeling it on your feet. Trying not to step on a crab. Most of the crabs are scared of your feet. Yeah, okay, fine. Murma. Whether you're searching for something tangible, like a perfectly shaped pebble, or something intangible, like an answer to one of life's many questions, it can probably be found in the wise, all-encompassing oceans, or sometimes in rivers or lakes or streams, and occasionally in puddles. Wagimon. This is a verb in Wagimon, which is a nearly extinct Australian language. It's the first time the book has provided any context on a language. German, this is going to be a good word. German is a ridiculous. Kummerspeck. Kummerspeck, literally meaning grief bacon. This word refers to excess weight we gain from anxiety-based overeating. Kummerspeck. Sometimes you just have to eat those feelings, and in large quantities. Unfortunately, we are programmed to find comfort in the edible, and until you catch sight of yourself in reflective service a month later, it often works. A little bit of fat shaming on that page, but I will say anxiety-based overeating is the real deal. From Kummerspeck to the opposite side of the book. I mean, we're like 80 pages later. We got another German word. Kabelsalat. Kabelsalat? Sort of something salad, cable salad. A word to describe a mess of tangled cables. Literally, a cable salad. I took German in college. Kabelsalat. Cable salad. I'm pretty confident you could have figured that one out if you didn't take German in college. Cables love to tangle. Turn your back on them for 1 second, and then you'll have to spend days putting them back in order, quickly discovering whether or not you have real patience. Yeah, let me tell you, the cord tangle, the capital, oh my god, I forgot the word already. What is the point of this book? Cable salad, right? It's cable salad. Cobble salad. Man, that can be so frustrating. And you're like, it does take forever to get the wire you're looking for. Alright. Yeah, leave it to the Dutch. The thing is, a lot of these words are just smashed up words that would be sort of valid. Sleepy in mid-afternoon. For example, Strussvogelpolitik is just ostrich politics. I'm assuming Strussvogel is ostrich and Politik is politics. Acting like you don't notice when something bad happens and continuing on regardless as you normally would. When trouble arises, bury your head in the sand and pretend that there aren't any problems and avoid any involvement until things go back to normal. Actually, don't take this approach, as it never ends well. Carrying on without addressing real issues is a practice so widespread that the Dutch have pinned it down and named it. And it's impressive seeing an ostrich can run at 31 miles an hour. Ostriches can run at 31 miles an hour. I mean, I feel like I knew they were fast, but 31 miles an hour? Now we're into Yacht City. And I cry. Do you cry when you yawn? When I yawn, tears get squeezed out of my eyes. It's the saddest thing. Nunchi. Korean. Yeah, felt sort of Far East. Nunchi. The subtle, man, they make it hard to read these words. The subtle and often unnoticed art of listening and gauging another's Is that supposed to be mind? Come on. Sometimes it can be difficult to know if that look is one of anxiety or anger or tenderness or sadness. But over time, you learn to tell the difference. The subtle and often unnoticed art of listening and engaging another's mind. Yeah, just sort of like getting it when you've been with your partner for a long time and you just get each other. You just seem to know. You have nunchi. That's pretty cool. I like that. Now we're starting to, the natural page breaks of flipping is starting to hit some repeats. Gezellig, which is Dutch, and it's an adjective that describes much more than just coziness. It's a positive, warm emotion or feeling rather than just something physical. And connotes, I think they meant connotates, and connotes time spent with loved ones and togetherness. I wonder if connotes is a word. Connotes. And connotes time spent with loved ones. Ask any Dutch person and they will tell you about gezellig. It is something that embodies their warm, welcoming culture and encompasses all of those things that make you cozy on the inside, like family, good conversations, and hugs. Way to go, the Dutch. Hawaiian. Akihi. Listening to directions and then walking off and promptly forgetting them. That means you've gone akihi. That's funny. When they explained how to get there, their directions all made perfect sense. You nodded and looked back with clear understanding. Then you parted ways, and now you can't remember whether to take a left or a right. Akihi. You've gone akihi. Alright, let's do like one or two more. Spanish. Vacilando. Traveling when the experience itself is more important than the destination. Just going. It matters not where we go as long as we go. The best laid plans are not usually conducive to spontaneous adventures. Not sure where to go? Great. Throw the map and the plans out the window and follow your heart for a while instead. Vacilando. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like a good Spanish word. Alright, let's do one final word. It's got hearts. I like hearts. We land on a lovely heart made out of hearts. Heart made out of hearts. Forelsket. It's Norwegian. Forelsket. The indescribable euphoria experienced as you begin to fall in love. I mean, we call that infatuation. We kind of have a word for that. The infatuation you feel when you fall in love with somebody. Maybe this is something you've yet to experience, or maybe you've had it happen to you repeatedly. Either way, it's wonderful, and research shows that forelsket is most likely to occur when you wear your heart on your sleeve, a Norwegian noun. Yeah, I had a series of relationships in college where friends turned into girlfriends because of infatuation / forelsket. Like, you look at this person, you see them as more than just a friend, and then suddenly, 3 weeks later, the two of you are like madly in love, and then suddenly 2-3 months later, you're like, wait, we were just friends. High five. I stayed friends with almost all of those girls, thank goodness. Because otherwise, there's a lot of people whose immaturity ruins good friendships. Forelsket. books that your brain goes on when you are meeting somebody new and falling in love is a powerful cocktail. Anyway, folks, that was Lost in Translation. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked learning about Quetzalcoatl and the Strusvosolpolik and Vassalando. Maybe we'll do more of it again. We haven't reread any books so far, but hey, what are you going to do? I appreciate you spending some time with me. We'll catch you next time.